From the moment I met you, everything changed.
Hey YouTube, what's up? It's me, Dani, and so today I will be doing a video about my belly button piercing gone wrong. So pretty much just randomly when I got into college, I started having that little itch of like, I want to get a belly button piercing. So then one night I was like, let's go get one. So I ended up driving about an hour from my college just to get a belly button piercing. I was so excited. But I got the cheapest piercing metal because I didn't need any of the jewels or anything, so I got the titanium, I believe it is. It's like just a little bar. And so I got it done, and I was so excited, and it hurt really bad. But the guy was really nice and everything, and it looked cute, and I really enjoyed it. And treating it wasn't that bad. Everything was going great. But then I went to a restaurant, and it had the longest booth that can fit like 4 people or 5 on one side. But it was just me and one other person for that big table. So I started scooting in, and when you're scooting in, you're kind of going up against the seat to kind of scoot your way in. I ended up banging my belly button on the table, and it really hurt. It was about 2 months after I got it done. So the little ball part hit my belly button, and it really hurt. And it stunk because my belly button was healing really well up until that point. So then I kept the belly button piercing in for a whole year after I got pierced. However, throughout that little, 10 months or so after it got hit, I ended up it was red around it, infected. Sometimes it would have like a little bit of pus coming out of it, and it was really nasty. However, I was afraid to take it out because I'm like, I don't want this to close up. I paid money for this. I don't want to, have my belly button piercing just go to waste. So I kept it in for a while. Then eventually, my roommate convinced me, like, girl, it looks bad. You need to take it out. So I eventually took it out about a year later, and then all around it was red, and it was almost impossible to take it out. We had to use pliers with rubber gloves to get the little ball off, and then when we took it off, I felt much better. However, I tried to put it back in a day later. Because of the infection, it closed up. So I was really disappointed, and I kind of had a slight scar. Then about a year and a half later, I was like, it healed, it closed up, it should be fine. I was like, let's get it re-pierced. So I ended up going to a different place to get it done. And that place I went to, it was fine. The people were nice. Everything seemed good. The only problem is he kind of put it in a little slanted, not quite straight. But I was like, okay, this is going to be fine. So I was taking care of it like I did with my other piercing because I was used to it. So I'd use the little water and make sure I cleaned it and everything, and use the soap you're supposed to use and everything. But then I noticed about a couple weeks into it, it started getting red around the end, and it hurt. If I gave someone a hug, I could feel the pain of the belly button piercing when I gave them a hug. So I was like, okay, that's not good. So I tried my best to keep it in, and it just didn't work because it looked nasty. It became infected again. So from hitting the table, it caused a lot of problems. So I was very, very disappointed that it ended up getting infected the second time. So I wasted money twice to get it pierced just for it to get infected. So I'd recommend when you guys get a piercing, if you slide into booths, first off, try to avoid being the one that slides all the way into a booth. But if you're the one that has to slide into the booth, be very careful not to bump it on the table. Because my piercing was going great until I did that. And then even when I got it redone, it was infected. So I'd recommend just avoiding scooting in at booths. So I'm probably never going to get my belly button re-pierced just after that experience. And plus, with having the piercing, sometimes when you'd give someone a hug, it got in the way. Sometimes it would hurt, especially when it was in the process of healing. So I definitely recommend think about it before you get your piercing, and just be very careful when it's in the healing process, because it would be very bad if you spend all that money to get it pierced just for it to get infected and now there's no piercing. So I actually currently have like a little bit of a scar where the belly button piercing was. So I'm going to post a photo now, and you guys can kind of see what it looks like. So you guys see it? That's kind of the scarring. I pulled out the piercing about 6 months ago, I'd say. So that's kind of like the scarring. You definitely could tell I had a belly button piercing at the top, and it's scarred, and it stinks having that, but it'll just be a reminder of the process I went through with that piercing. So this is just my story of my piercing gone wrong. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and please stay tuned for my next video. Bye!